Welcome back to Horoscope TV. Have you ever noticed the absolute paradox of being a Sagittarius?
Oh, it is a massive paradox.
Right. Because, you were born under this incredibly expansive fiery sign,
Yeah.
ruled by Jupiter, right?
Yes, exactly. The planet of endless horizons.
Yeah, so you want to run, you want to explore, you want to, basically burn the map and just see where the road takes you.
Definitely.
But at the exact same time, there is this quiet, almost hidden part of you that desperately wants to build something real. Something that actually lasts.
That is the core struggle of the archer, for sure.
Yeah. So if you have the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, or, if you are heavily influenced by the sign in your chart, we are looking at the week of April 27 to May 3, 2026.
A very important week.
It really is. And the reason you need to tune in right now is that this specific week brings that exact paradox front and center.
It absolutely does.
This week is an incredible roller coaster. It starts with this wild, fiery passion, right? And then it dips into some very intense emotional healing.
Very intense.
Yeah, and then it ends with this totally surprising focus on getting your daily chores in order, like doing your laundry.
It is a remarkable sequence of planetary movements, really.
Yeah.
And, our mission today is to analyze the astrological charts specifically for this week.
Right.
And we're focusing entirely on how these transits impact you as a Sagittarius. So we are going to look closely at how the planets are moving, what angles they're forming.
The astro data.
Exactly, the astro data. And we'll translate that into what it means for your love life, your career, your money, and your health.
Oh, wow. Everything, basically.
Everything. The goal is that by the time we finish this conversation, you'll have a clear, actionable roadmap to make the most of this powerful energy. And, do it without burning yourself out.
Okay, I love that. I want to jump right into Tuesday, April 28th.
Tuesday is huge.
It really is, because looking at the charts, the week does not just start. It explodes out of the gate.
It completely explodes, yes.
We are seeing a massive burst of energy that sets a really fast, exciting pace. But what stands out to me immediately is the Mars and Lilith connection.
Ah, yes. The Mars-Lilith trine.
Right. Mars is forming a helpful trine with Lilith. Now, normally Lilith brings this raw, chaotic, almost like destructive rebellion, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the part of us that entirely refuses to submit.
Yeah, so if Mars, which is, the planet of aggression and drive, is linking up with Lilith, why are we treating this as a positive thing?
It's a fair question.
Wouldn't that combination just make a Sagittarius blow up their career, just quit their job in a blaze of glory?
That is a very valid concern, especially considering the natural fiery temperament of a Sagittarius.
Right, they already want to run away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if this were a hard angle in the charts, like a square, we might actually be talking about a spectacular office meltdown.
Yikes. Okay.
But the key here is the trine. A trine is a flowing, supportive angle.
Okay, so it helps instead of hurts.
Yes. It takes that raw, untamed rebellion of Lilith.
Yeah.
And it smooths it out just enough. So Mars could use it as highly focused fuel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So instead of wanting to burn the building down, you suddenly have the absolute courage to walk into the boardroom and pitch the boldest idea you have.
The one you've been sitting on for months?
Precisely. Because Lilith refuses to conform.
Yeah.
And in a corporate setting, or even just regular daily work, we all wear masks to fit in.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
We water down our talents so we don't outshine people. We hold back.
It feels too risky.
Exactly. But when Mars forms this supportive trine with Lilith, that fear of standing out, it completely evaporates.
Wow. So for a Sagittarius, this translates into massive courage.
Massive. You are going to feel an overwhelming urge to take big risks at work and really show off your talents to your bosses. You won't want to just be part of the team.
You want to be the star.
You want to be recognized for your unique brilliance.
But wait, a trine can sometimes be too easy, right?
It can be.
Sometimes the energy is so flowing that people just sit back and, enjoy the feeling without actually doing anything. They feel confident, but they just daydream.
That is the danger of a trine, normally. But Mars will not let you sit still.
Right. Mars is action.
Yes, Mars demands physical action.
Yeah.
You are radiating this very specific magnetic confidence. It's the kind of energy where you walk into a room, you do not apologize for taking up space, and people naturally just want to hear what you have to say.
I love that.
It is highly playful, but incredibly potent. You are not going to want to sit quietly in the back.
Okay, so Tuesday is already huge, but it isn't just Mars and Lilith lighting up Tuesday,
No, it's not.
because the charts show Venus forming a strong trine with Pluto on the exact same day.
Yes, the Venus-Pluto trine.
Now, I have to push back here a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, Pluto is the underworld, right? It's obsession, it's power struggles, it's like the absolute darkest depths.
It is very heavy energy.
Yeah, and Venus is love, harmony, money.
Putting those two together usually sounds like a recipe for a fatal attraction, or like a massive financial power struggle.
Right.
So how is this playing out as a positive force for a Sagittarius?
You are right to be cautious around Pluto. Pluto strips away anything superficial. It destroys whatever is built on a weak foundation.
Which sounds terrifying.
It does, but again, the trine is our saving grace here. Because the angle is supportive, Pluto is not operating as a destructive force.
Okay.
It is operating as an intensifying force. It takes the surface-level desires of Venus and gives them incredible depth.
Oh, I see.
So in your closest partnerships, this completely transforms the dynamic. You are not going to be satisfied with small talk today.
No more talking about the weather.
Exactly. This transit brings intense, powerful feelings right up to the surface, but in a way that creates a deeply bonded, unbreakable passion, not toxic obsession.
So if a Sagittarius is in a relationship that has been feeling a bit stale, or just going through the motions.
This Venus-Pluto trine is like injecting pure adrenaline into the connection.
Exactly. The superficial layers just melt away. And if you are single, the people you attract under this energy are not going to be light, casual flings.
Right.
You will draw in people who have a certain intensity or power to them.
Yeah.
But we also have to look at the other side of Venus,
There's money.
which is your wealth.
Yes. Because if Pluto rules the underworld, it also rules like buried treasure, hidden resources.
Yes. And this is where April 28 gets highly beneficial for your wallet. Pluto governs wealth that is shared, inherited, or generated through partnerships.
Okay.
When it forms a flowing trine with Venus, it can bring highly unexpected financial support out of nowhere.
Wait, really? Like just out of the blue?
Out of the blue, you might get a sudden lucky break from a business partner, or maybe a client unexpectedly increases their budget, which helps you grow your wealth.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a day where the hidden gears of the universe are really turning in your financial favor.
Let me stop you there, though. Because we have Mars and Lilith making you completely fearless at work,
Yes.
and we have Venus and Pluto making your love life intensely passionate and like dropping unexpected money into your lap.
That's right.
For a sign like Sagittarius, who already, struggles with limits, this sounds like a recipe for going way too far.
It really does.
Like, how do you keep from totally crashing? I mean, standing up in a meeting is great, but there is a fine line between being confident and just being reckless.
That is the million-dollar question for any fire sign dealing with this much intense fire and Pluto energy.
Right. So what stops them from going overboard?
Well, fortunately, the astrological charts reveal a built-in safety net, and it activates on this exact same day.
Oh, thank goodness. What is it?
While all this intense energy is swirling, the moon enters the sign of Libra.
Ah, Libra. A cardinal air sign.
Yes.
Libra is the scales, right?
Yeah.
It's all about balance, reading the room, social harmony.
Exactly. The moon dictates your baseline emotional state. So as the moon shifts into Libra, it acts as this massive cooling breeze over all that intense fire.
Oh, that makes sense.
It highlights your social life. It makes you want to connect with friends and maintain harmony.
So it smooths out the rough edges. You have the courage, but the Libra moon ensures you deliver your bold ideas with charm rather than just aggression.
That is the absolute magic of this specific combination. The Libra moon keeps that intense passion from becoming totally overwhelming or suffocating to your partner.
It sounds like walking into a party wearing your best outfit, having everyone look at you, and suddenly finding a $100 bill on the floor. Like everything is just hitting right.
That is a perfect analogy. Everything is hitting right. It pulls you outward, reminding you to be social and graceful.
Nice.
It makes Tuesday a perfect day to go out on fun, playful dates. Or, to find mental balance by doing some gentle exercise with friends.
It guarantees that while you are feeling fearless, you are still playing well with others.
Yes, you take massive risks, but you are acutely aware of how you are being received.
I love the way those energies layer on top of each other. You have your foot on the accelerator, but the Libra moon gives you total control of the steering wheel.
Exactly.
Like, sounds like an unbeatable Tuesday. But looking ahead at the charts, the universe never lets us stay comfortable for long, does it?
Never.
Because right after we ride this massive high on the 28th, we hit a very jarring cosmic speed bump.
Yes, we do.
On Wednesday, April 29. Okay, let's unpack this. The flowing trines are gone, and Venus squares the true node retrograde.
This is a profound shift in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
A square is a 90-degree angle between planetary points, and it always creates friction.
Always.
Always. It feels like two competing agendas that just refuse to compromise. And here we have Venus, which is supercharged with all your desires right now, clashing directly with the true node.
Let's break down the true node for a second. It's not a planet, right? It is a mathematical point in the sky.
Correct. It represents the karmic path forward.
So it's like the ultimate direction you are supposed to be heading in this lifetime.
Yes, the true node is your North Star. It is the uncomfortable but absolutely necessary growth you have to achieve.
So when Venus squares the true node, it creates this tension between what you desperately want right now and what is actually best for your future path.
It is the ultimate test of instant gratification.
Wow. And to make matters more complicated, the true node is in retrograde,
Yes, it is.
which means it is moving backward from our perspective on Earth, so it is dragging the past into this conflict.
Exactly. A retrograde true node brings themes, people, and unresolved issues from your past directly back into your present life.
Oh, boy.
You just had this incredibly empowering, passionate Tuesday. And now on Wednesday, an old fear, an ingrained insecurity, or maybe even an actual ex-partner might suddenly resurface.
Why do our past mistakes in love suddenly pop up to haunt us right when we are having so much fun?
Because of the friction caused by the square. Venus wants instant pleasure. It wants the shiny, easy thing. But the true node is acting as a strict teacher.
Oh.
It is pulling up your past to ask you, like, did you actually learn your lesson, or are you going to repeat the exact same relationship mistake you made 3 years ago?
That is fascinating. The chart specifically warned that a Sagittarius must be very careful not to let past relationship mistakes ruin current happiness.
Yes.
I can totally see how this plays out. You're in a great new relationship. The Venus-Pluto energy on Tuesday was amazing. And then Wednesday hits, and suddenly you feel this overwhelming wave of jealousy.
Right.
Not because of anything your current partner did, but because of a betrayal you suffered in the past.
That is the square in action. The friction makes you project your past wounds onto your present reality.
Wow.
Or, the retrograde node might tempt you to reach out to a toxic ex simply because you crave the familiar comfort of that old dynamic.
Even though you know it destroys your future.
Exactly. Protecting your current relationship happiness this week requires a supreme act of willpower. You have to look forward, not backward.
Yeah.
You have to actively choose your future growth over the comfortable misery of your past.
Okay, what about the financial side of Venus? Because we also talked about Venus bringing unexpected money on Tuesday.
Yes, we did.
Does the square to the true node threaten that new wealth?
It poses a massive threat, actually,
Oh, no.
because Venus loves luxury. It loves aesthetic beauty and looking successful. And the friction of the square creates a temptation to spend money to gain immediate social status.
Ah. So instead of building real lasting wealth,
Right.
this sounds like wanting to buy a flashy sports car right now just to look cool, but knowing you really need to save that money for a house.
That is exactly what it is. Or, since Sagittarius is so generous, it might be picking up a wildly expensive dinner tab for all your friends, just to feel like the big shot.
Even though it completely drains the account.
Yes. Spending to impress other people is the primary trap on April 29. It is a financial gamble that serves your ego in the short term, but pulls you totally off your true path.
You really have to pause before every purchase.
You must avoid risky financial gambles. You have to ask yourself, am I buying this because it adds genuine value? Or am I trying to prove my worth to people who don't actually matter?
Right. It really feels like the universe is setting a trap. It gives you the power and the money on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday it says, okay, let's see if you are actually mature enough to handle it.
It is a test.
And the way you navigate this tension on the 29th really sets the stage for the massive shift that happens next.
It definitely does.
Because as we move into Thursday, April 30, and Friday, May 1, the energy completely flips.
The total 180.
It feels like we've stopped partying, turned on the bright lights, and now we have to clean out the emotional closet and pay our bills. I look at this section of the week as the deep clean.
That is highly accurate. On April 30, the moon leaves that light, breezy social energy of Libra and plunges headfirst into the sign of Scorpio.
Which is heavy.
Very heavy. And this builds up to a very intense full moon in Scorpio on May 1. This is arguably the most demanding energy of the entire week.
Okay, I have to challenge this a bit.
Go ahead.
A full moon is the peak of the lunar cycle, right? The sky is entirely illuminated.
Yes.
Usually, full moon sounds so active and crazy. People feel energized, sometimes a little erratic. And Sagittarius is a fire sign, so they usually thrive on that kind of big outward energy.
Sure.
But looking at the astro charts here, the absolute loudest directive for a Sagittarius during this Scorpio full moon is that they need to go to sleep and rest.
Yes, deep sleep is required.
Why the sudden crash in energy? Why does a full moon in Scorpio do that to them?
To understand the crash, we have to look at the profound difference between Sagittarius fire and Scorpio water.
Okay.
Scorpio is not a light, bubbling stream.
Mm-hmm.
It is the deepest, darkest, heaviest part of the ocean. It rules over psychology, secrets, hidden debts, and all the things we desperately try to keep buried.
So while a Sagittarius usually wants to look up at the horizon, Scorpio forces them to look down into the basement.
Exactly. When the moon enters Scorpio on April 30, the social desire from Libra just vanishes. You're going to feel a sudden, powerful need to pull back from the crowd.
You just want to hide.
Yeah, at work, you will lose all interest in pitching ideas or standing in the spotlight. You will feel a driving need to work quietly, behind the scenes, just to finish a big project.
So you retreat inward.
Yes. And then the full moon hits on main rest. A full moon acts like a giant, unavoidable spotlight. It illuminates whatever sign it is in.
So full moon in Scorpio brings all those basement secrets into the bright light.
Yes. For you, Sagittarius, this means your most deeply hidden fears are going to come bubbling forcefully up to the surface.
Oh, wow.
Things you haven't wanted to look at. Insecurities you have been outrunning with your busy schedule. The full moon stops you in your tracks and forces you to confront them. It urges letting go of those hidden fears.
It really is a deep clean. And the charts point out that this doesn't just apply to emotional fears, it applies to highly practical things, too.
Yes, it does.
Like the full moon shines a bright light on hidden expenses, urging you to pay your old debts.
Exactly. Those envelopes you've been stacking on the kitchen counter, pretending they don't exist. The Scorpio moon says time is up.
You cannot ignore them anymore.
You cannot. Whether it is a literal credit card bill or, a karmic debt to someone you wronged, the ledger has to be balanced. And this explains the physical exhaustion you were asking about earlier.
Right. Why they need so much rest.
Because the subconscious mind is working in absolute overdrive. Even if you are physically just sitting on your couch staring at a wall, your mind is doing massive heavy lifting.
Processing everything.
Yes, processing intense emotional realities, facing fears, untangling financial truths. That consumes a huge amount of physical energy.
So if you try to push through it and maintain your busy schedule, you'll crash.
You will absolutely face severe burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Deep, restful sleep is not a luxury right now. It is an absolute must to avoid burnout.
That makes total sense. You are running a massive software update in the background, and it just drains the battery. But it isn't just internal processing. The charts highlight that this full moon requires total honesty about private feelings and hidden desires with your partner.
It does.
Now, a Sagittarius is known for being honest, but usually about external things, like telling you they don't like your shirt.
Right, very blunt.
Being honest about deep, dark, private fears is totally different.
It is entirely different and much harder. Scorpio demands absolute vulnerability. You cannot hide your true emotional state from your partner right now.
So if there is a conversation you have been avoiding,
This full moon will force it out. The pressure builds until the truth simply has to be spoken.
that sounds incredibly intimidating. But I'm looking at the charts, and there is a very beautiful counterbalance happening on the exact same day.
Yes, there is.
While the moon is forcing this heavy, deep clean, Venus is stepping up to offer a reward. On May 1st, Venus forms a sextile with Saturn.
This is the saving grace of the day. A sextile is a wonderful chance. It is the universe offering you a sturdy building block, but you have to choose to pick it up.
Let's look at the tension here, though. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, all about expansion, freedom, breaking rules.
Right.
Saturn is the exact opposite. Discipline, structure, boundaries. To a Sagittarius, Saturn usually feels like a wet blanket. So how does this Venus-Saturn alignment actually benefit them?
Because even the most adventurous archer needs a solid bowstring to launch the arrow. Freedom without structure isn't an adventure, it is just chaos.
Oh, I like that.
While the Scorpio full moon makes you face your hard truths, this Venus-Saturn sextile is the reward for doing that difficult work.
Okay.
In romance, when you finally have that terrifyingly honest conversation about your hidden fears, Saturn steps in and builds a solid, lasting romantic commitment out of it.
So this scary conversation is actually the foundation for long-term security.
Yes. Facing the shadow makes the relationship stronger, not weaker. Saturn rewards
That's
maturity.
financially.
The exact same principle. When you stop ignoring your debts and face those hidden expenses, Saturn rewards your discipline. It rewards saving money and making smart choices.
So facing these hard truths leads directly to real rewards, like lasting love and a growing savings account.
Yes.
That is a phenomenal way to reframe Saturn for a fire sign. It isn't a cage, it is a foundation.
Exactly.
And the universe seems incredibly determined to help Sagittarius succeed on May 1st, because while Scorpio is dragging all these deep fears up, another massive alignment on the same day offers the perfect tool to fix them.
Yes, May 1 is a very busy day in the sky.
Mercury joins Chiron.
Yes, Mercury, the planet of how we talk, joining Chiron, how we heal.
So what does this all mean?
Well, Chiron represents our deepest emotional wounds, but also our profound capacity to heal those wounds.
Right.
So when Mercury comes into a direct connection with Chiron, it helps heal past wounds through honest talking.
This is like finally pulling out a splinter that's been bothering you for weeks. It stings to talk about it for a second, but then the relief is huge.
That analogy captures it perfectly, and this applies across your life. At work, the charts indicate that this energy helps fix past mistakes made with coworkers by speaking honestly.
But hold on. We need to make a very clear distinction here.
Right.
Sagittarius is already known for being super blunt. Does this mean they should just walk into the office and say whatever raw thought is on their mind to their coworkers?
Absolutely not. That is the quickest way to create a new, deeper wound.
Right, because I'm just being honest can be really mean.
Exactly. There is a massive difference between just being loud or blunt and being truly honest and vulnerable. Chiron is a gentle energy. If you blast someone with raw criticism disguised as honesty, you are completely misusing the transit.
So how does a Sagittarius use this correctly?
You use Mercury and Chiron to speak from a place of personal vulnerability. Instead of accusing a coworker, you say, I feel like we got off on the wrong foot and I want to fix it. Here's where I was coming from.
Ah, taking ownership.
Yes, you are communicating to repair the bridge, not to win the argument.
That is a crucial difference. Vulnerability over victory. And the charts highlight it offers a beautiful chance to heal chronic stress by talking about feelings with a trusted friend.
Yes. Think back to the exhaustion of the full moon. Your mind is swirling. One of the best ways to drain that toxic buildup is to verbalize it.
Just get it out.
Get the fear out of your head.
Yeah.
Speaking it aloud to a trusted friend will lift a massive physical weight off your chest.
That is amazing. And it clears the deck for the final shift. We survive the wild start, navigate the speed bump, deep clean the emotional closets, and heal through words.
Yes.
And finally, as we reach Sunday, May 3, the atmosphere completely changes again.
It does.
We are getting our feet firmly back on solid ground. Here's where it gets really interesting. Mercury enters Taurus.
Taurus is the ultimate grounding energy.
It's like after a wild, crazy vacation, you actually just really want to do your laundry, eat a home-cooked meal, and buy a nice new planner.
That is exactly what it feels like. Taurus is focused purely on the physical world. Stability, comfort. When Mercury enters Taurus, you start thinking practically about your daily routines and chores.
But isn't a fiery, adventurous sign like Sagittarius going to feel incredibly bored by doing chores and making a financial budget?
It's easy to assume that, but no. Under these specific conditions, you won't be bored at all. You will find immense physical comfort in a grounded routine.
Really? Why?
Because of the ringer you just went through. Your nervous system is fried, you've been living on adrenaline and heavy emotional processing.
True.
Taurus energy steps in like a warm blanket. This doesn't mean life is boring. You are just building a safe, strong base camp for your next big adventure.
Oh, that makes sense. You can't climb a mountain if your base camp is a total disaster.
Exactly. On May 3, you want to eat healthy foods and care for your body with patience. At work, you will focus heavily on organizing your workspace and making schedules efficient for long-term career success.
And what about the money lessons from earlier?
You become practical about daily spending and build a secure financial plan.
And the most surprising detail to me for May 3 is how it affects romance. It says you show true love by helping with chores and being reliable.
Yes, true love right now isn't grand gestures. It's doing the dishes. It's being someone your partner can count on.
That is beautiful. Okay, we have mapped out the week. Now I want to pivot to the ultimate cheat sheet. Who should you run with? Who should you avoid? And your lucky elements. Let's start with your best match, Aries.
Yes, your best match is Aries.
Why does their energy mesh so perfectly right now?
Because it matches your wild spirit, that Mars and Lilith energy. Aries brings fearless, unstoppable passion together with you.
They are your partner in a fast-paced action movie.
Exactly. They are eager to join the Libra moon's social fun. And during the heavy Scorpio moon, both of you focus on moving forward instead of dwelling.
Awesome. And worst match.
Pisces.
Why is Pisces so draining this week?
Because this intense week makes Pisces draining. They absorb the toxic Scorpio moon energy and want to retreat, while you want to move fast.
Pisces is trying to make you sit still and watch a 6-hour sad documentary.
Yes, and the Venus square true node brings suffocating neediness from Pisces. Plus, your bluntness during Mercury and Chiron crushes their gentle spirit.
If someone listening is a Sagittarius and their boss or partner is a Pisces, are they just doomed this week, or is there a way to handle it?
You aren't doomed, but the stars strongly suggest pursuing independent adventures alone if dealing with a Pisces. Keep your distance and protect your energy.
Boundaries. Good to know. What are the lucky number?
9, 17, 28, 32, 43, and 59.
And the best dates.
April 28th, the wild spark, and May 3, the grounded finish.
And the color of the week.
Purple. It brings great luck this week.
Purple it is. Wow, what a week.
It really is. And I want to leave you with one final thought. Since this week takes you from taking wild, fearless risks to finding comfort in doing your daily chores, maybe the biggest adventure of all isn't out in the world, but in how beautifully you could build your everyday habits.
Finding adventure in the everyday habits. I love that. Thank you so much for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV. Please subscribe so you can get notified the moment the next weekly episode is available. Have a great week, Sagittarius.